Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, YAHAWAH. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach this truth and rule well. And shalom to the elect. All right, coming with another video. YAHAWAH, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI. I just, Lord willing, this is going to be a quick one. But I just wanted to go into a quick subject, and I was going to bring out this scripture, but, you got to watch out, man, for Satan, man, because, Satan be out here, and he knows how your mind works, man. He be trying to get you at your weak points, and that's why you got to stay armored up in these scriptures, okay, and stay feeding your spirit with these scriptures, okay, and not be feeding your carnal lusts, That's why it's good to practice fasting. You're denying your body, denying your carnal desires, the things that your body desire, or even defeating your mind is telling you to eat, or whatever, but to learn to deny the things that you want, as it feeds your spirit, okay, and it gives you, the ability to resist the flesh, okay, but. Just thinking of certain situations, Jake might had a woman. So let's say, for example, I'm not going to go into personally or whatever, but Jake might had a woman at one point. You say he was with that woman, for a good amount of years or whatever, and then y'all end up going separate ways. Well, now that woman go and get a man, and she end up getting married to the dude, and we know, that through the scriptures, man, marriage is when you pop a woman. That's your woman. And nowadays, these women is defiled by many different men, okay, and it's very rare that a brother would get a virgin, okay, but anyway, say you go your separate ways with a woman. That woman go off, she get legally married, according to Esau's laws, she get married. She gonna go have a kid with another dude, and here it come years later, you might have been, reflecting them back on some memories you had with that woman, or something. And man, next thing you know, bam, she hits you up. She hits you up knowing damn well she married, knowing damn well she got a whole other man and a family now. But now she hitting you up. Because, man, what is that? That's fucking Satan right there. You know what I'm saying? That's Satan. He can work like that with a simple thing like that. Oh yeah, you was thinking about that, huh? Okay. And he gonna try to get you. He'll try to get you to go off, man. You're not even. That's not your wife no more, man. But let me go ahead and bring out this scripture, okay? Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. No, he let Satan do that. He let Satan go ahead and do the tempting. Okay, Satan to come and tempt you with different things. Okay, and it's basically you're being tested, man. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay strong for the laws? You're going to stay strong for Yahawah Bahasham YAHAWASHI and try your best to uphold, and follow his laws and commandments. Because hey. Adultery is a sin punishable by death, man, and it's very serious. It's a very serious offense, man. When we try, we strive to do our best to follow these laws and commandments that was given to us, okay, and that's what separates us. That's one of the things that's separating us from the rest of these nations, man. We actually have these laws and commandments that were given to us, okay. But so Satan is the tempter, man. He's the one that'll tempt you, okay. And then you got Salaki. Let me go back to the scripture. I'm gonna read this again. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Okay, so. Let me get that word enticed real quick in the etymology. Enticed. entice. To incite or instigate, to stir up, fire, to excite, incite, which is of an uncertain origin, set on fire, firebrand, which is of uncertain origin, meaning to allure, attract. So you start getting drawn into these desires, you start getting, a desire, you get to pondering on it, thinking on it too much, it's a saying in the world, you can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can keep it from making a nest in your hair. So yeah, so you can't stop, certain thoughts from popping up, or, but you ain't got to sit there and dwell on shit, That's when you got to, you start getting bad thoughts or whatever, you rebuke Satan, you rebuke those thoughts away from you. And let's get it here in the blue letter, what entice is. I haven't went into it, but I mean, it's straight, should sound straightforward enough, but let's go see. To bait, catch by a bait. See the definition here. To entrap, infect, delude, allure, beguile, entice. Okay, and there's that word allure. Entrap. Yeah, so you end up getting trapped, man, by these desires if you don't, rebuke them, and you got to stay strong for YAHAWASHI, okay? Let's say, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed, man. So yeah, you get drawn away, okay, it's such a strong desire that you're going to go ahead and give into the flesh. Let's say, for example, like I was talking, you might have that woman back in the day and she come back to you, trying to hit you up, knowing damn well she got a husband and another family. You got to be able to resist that. Say, you know what? No, I'm not dealing with you, because you can't commit adultery, and you ain't even got to tell her all that. Hey, man, you can ignore her. Hey, I'm not dealing with you, and I'm not doing all that. Whatever, right? And it's I had a scripture on the matter. This is Deuteronomy 24. When a man have taken a wife, so I can move this off my screen. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Now we know YAHAWASHI, he said, don't put your wife away. But I'm going to get to the point of what I'm trying to make here with this scripture here. Verse 3. And if the later husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and giveth it in her hand and sendeth her out of his house, or if the latter husband die which took her to be his wife, her former husband which sent her away may not take her again to be his wife, after that she is defiled. For that is abomination before the Lord YAHAWASHI, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord YAHAWASHI thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. That's a lot. So basically, you don't go taking a woman back, in an instance like that, right? So let me go back here, James 1:15. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. All right. So, you got to be able to rebuke, these thoughts, and a prayer for that is Anya, Gair, Atha, Shaitan, Bahasham, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So I rebuke you, Satan, in the name Yahawah, Bahasham, in the name Yahawah, and Yahawah, Bahasham, Slaki, in the name Yahawah and Yahawashi. Okay. And so, you got to be able to deny your flesh, man. It's different little things that could come up that Satan could try to get you with, man. And so you got to always be on guard, and aware. It's little things like that, man, and which really is a big thing. You can't go, it might have been your woman at one point or whatever, but, she got a whole ass man and a family, and she trying to come back to you, man. That ain't nothing but Satan, So, hey, man, I just wanted to bring that out real quick, don't fall a victim, man. And hey, don't fuck around and get yourself judged because you want to, give in to your desires, man. Yeah, you might have been having a good old time with that woman. It might have been spicy relationship. It might have been, it might have been it might have been real nice. We'll just put it like that. Y'all might have had real good chemistry, and then y'all just separated for whatever reason. But when a woman's got a man, you say woman's dealing with a man, she got a family. You don't fucking do that. You don't go committing adultery, man, because that shit ain't yours, and that shit just done been defiled. That land's defiled now. Okay. So, but anyway, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham YAHAWASHI, Bahasham YAHAWAH, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach this truth and rule well. And shalom to the elect.